Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to tell you all about the latest from Firewind, out May 15th on AFM Records. This album has 11 tracks, 46 minutes in length, and this is the band's 9th full-length studio album. New lead singer, same old Firewind, classic heavy metal meets power metal. This album is all about that old school flavor, and that to me is present not only in the sound and vocals, but also in the overall album structure. This is one of those records that starts off with this crescendo. You feel the intensity, the momentum picking up as the album starts. Then it dips in the middle with a ballad, and then the second half of the album you see that same crescendo, that same built-up moving towards the end of the record. This is really old school. This happened in the days of the vinyl because bands wanted to break side A and side B, and they would use the ballad as a way of breaking the vinyl into two pieces, into two sides. That continued on into the digital media era, and this record really brings back that style, that approach, and it fits the sound of the record, it fits the band, it fits the vocals, it fits everything. So I really like that they went with that approach to really enhance that old school flavor that this album has. But when you look at a Firewind record, you're always looking at two main components: vocals and guitars. These are the driving forces behind every single album from the band, and this one is no different. Perhaps the difference in this one is the lead singer. Herbie Langens was invited in, and he's the new lead singer of the band. This is his first album with Firewind. So there's always that sense of going into a record with a new lead singer. How is it going to be? How is he going to fit into the band? What is he going to bring to the table? How is he going to match the sound? And obviously fans will always compare with previous lead singers. It's just the way it is when you're looking at a new lead singer releasing his debut album with a band that's been established for a very long time. Well, let me tell you this, the vocals are phenomenal. His style, his approach, it's really throwback as well. It actually reminds me of the early days of Firewind. There's a little bit of that feel of the early starts, of the origins of the band, and how he sounds and how he comes across and how he uses his tone. His range is impeccable. I really love the energy that he gives to the songs, really understanding what the song is about, what kind of momentum the track has, the mood of the song, what atmosphere this song has, how do the lyrics impact the delivery of the vocals. All of these elements are important, and in my opinion, he delivers on every single one of them to a T. He just knows exactly where he can go with his voice, where he can push the song, where he can drive the song or move the song towards in order to get the most out of the lyrics, out of the track, out of the sound, and out of himself. Absolutely phenomenal choice for a vocalist. He delivered on this album. He did an incredible job on every single track. Even the ballad, which normally is, in my opinion, ballads are really tough to pull off. Specifically when you have one that's really stripped down, because it leaves you naked in front of the audience. You have nowhere to hide. There's no other instruments there to really hide you. So all spotlights, everything is on you. And to me, in that song, on the record, he really delivers and he really pulls off a great performance, as he does on every single track. So I was really impressed with his voice, I was really impressed with his vocals, and what a phenomenal choice for this record. And perhaps that's the reason why the album is called Firewind, because it has a little bit of the origins of the band with a new vocalist. So I'm thinking that's a little bit of a nod to that aspect of the record. The other one that I mentioned was the guitars. How can you talk about Firewind and not talk about guitars? How can you not talk about Gus G? This album, another clinic. I mean, this guy, he can pick up a guitar and do things that some people can only dream of. This record is proof of that. From everything, from the melodies, to the riffs, to the solos. The solos on this album, you could close your eyes and pick any single track and you're going to find a solo that's completely out of this world. And I'm not just talking about the execution of the solo or the melody. I'm even talking about how it's structured within the song, how you transition from a chorus into a solo, or from a little bridge into a solo, or from a riff. Like everything about how he created the solos, how he put them together in the tracks, how he understood the melody that the song had or the emotion that the song had, allowed that emotion to then move into the solo and then explode onto the songs. So if the song has a vibrant feel to it, the solo also has that light and brightness to it. If the song has a little bit more of a dark and somber atmosphere, or at least a topic, the solo also represents that more calm and more collective approach instead of being over the top all the time. So I really love what he did with the guitars all around, as far as riffs, like I said, melodies, but the solos to me, it's really the climax of the record as far as guitars are concerned. What he did with the solos on this album is absolutely phenomenal, mixing a little bit of that old school flavor over the top, really flourished solos with a more modern approach, the more conscious approach, with some shorter solos, some longer solos. Everything surrounding the guitars on this album is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. The strength that it has, the power that it gives to the record. Really, the 1 and 2 punch vocals and guitars are really the drivers behind the overall experience that this album offers to the listener. Kudos to both of them for creating such a magnificent record and such a powerful album from the first to the last song. Overall, to me, this album is fuel to the fire. This album is pure octane, top to bottom. An incredible record, great fluidity from track to track. You just don't feel the time passing. The songs just flow perfectly into each other. They all have differences. They all have their own individual structure, their own individual approach. The way the solos are put together, very different from track to track. There aren't tracks on this album that really sound similar or have a similar feel to it. But the overall experience of listening to this album is one of the same. It's one of intensity. It's one of high octane, like I said, putting fuel into the fire. That's what this album has to offer. In my opinion, this record is going to be one of the top records, one of the stronger releases of 2020 within this genre, within the classic heavy metal, power metal genre. Definitely this is going to be one of the top albums of 2020. I have no doubts about it. It's just extremely well put together musically, vocally, and then as far as the mixing and mastering is concerned, it's flawless. It really allowed all the different elements of the album to showcase themselves and to really merge together in order to create a very cohesive front on every single track. There isn't no skippable tracks on this album. This is just really an outstanding record for 2020 overall, but within the genre, definitely. I'm talking about top album of the year within that genre for sure. Now, as far as songs are concerned, I have to start off with Devour. This is my favorite track on the album. I love this song. Second track on the album, and it's heavy, it's fast, it's powerful, it's melodic, it has all of those elements. This song is metal on steroids. That's the best way to describe it. The way the guitars sound on this track, definitely metal on steroids. Great tempo, really pushing the song forward, not losing an inch of power when it moves from the verses into the chorus. It's a song that's very consistent all the way through. What changes, in my opinion, is the vocal approach. The backing vocals in the chorus make the chorus so melodic. They don't add heaviness, but they add melody, they add presence. They almost give a sense of a live atmosphere in the way they come together, really pushing the vocals in the chorus forward, making them even feel bigger, giving it a little bit more texture. I absolutely love that. The melody that chorus has is just contagious. It really becomes the heartbeat of the track. The guitar riff that moves into the chorus is super melodic because it really comes out of nowhere. It becomes a little bit more predominant, but it's still in the background. It's still not one of the main factors, but it's there. You notice it there. And then as you move out, that riff becomes the solo after the second chorus. And I love that transition that goes from that riff that adds melody in the pre-chorus chorus and then moves into the solo following the second chorus. I love that. The guitar solo on this track is outstanding. Solo or solos, because it feels like he does two solos on this track, is absolutely crazy. The length of time that the solo goes on for, the incredible melody that it has, the power that it has, it really pushes, it sucks all the energy that the song has from the verses in the chorus, all the melody that the track has in that chorus. Everything comes together into this solo and then it explodes onto the track before the song closes off with a chorus again. Absolutely phenomenal track. Incredible, the song from a construction perspective, from a structural perspective, absolutely incredible, super dynamic, super fluid, and with so many moving pieces. And in my opinion, the best solo on the record is on this track. That's my humble opinion. Next, Longing to Know You. This is the ballad on the album. This is the song that breaks the record into two. And this song is a really stripped down acoustic guitar with a lot of vocal layers to it that just become the backbone of this track, become the spinal cord of this song. Beautiful song, musically and vocally. It's very melodic, but there's a little bit of a somber aspect to it. There's a little bit of a dark atmosphere to it that really plays well with the sound, with the vocals, with the stripped down approach with the acoustic guitar. I really like that. The chorus is very powerful. it gains a little bit more volume. It becomes the climax of the song. You really feel like the song at that time really erupts like a volcano, and that works really well for a song that's this stripped down. You really need something within the song that has that boost of energy, and in this case is the chorus. The solo matches the beauty of the song, and in my opinion it also matches the tempo of the song. This is not a solo that goes over the top, it goes everywhere, it starts to expand on the sound. No, it's a solo that's very controlled, very cohesive. It allows the song to continue with the same melody. It allows the song to continue with the same atmosphere that it had from the beginning. So I really like that approach. I like the fact that the solo doesn't destroy the song in terms of energy. It really becomes just another portion of the song. It adds to the experience that the song has, and it allows the song to continue at the same pace, at the same rhythm. Then the song moves into the chorus as the track starts to gain more volume, as it starts to close. I like that approach. You feel that once the solo is over, the song starts to expand, become bigger. There's more volume there. Not necessarily heavier, but just there's more elements coming into the track, and the track starts, the road, instead of being narrow, which was narrow up until that point, even through the solo, starts to widen up a little bit more, starts to becoming a little bit bigger. But then as the song closes off, it closes off as it begun. So it goes full circle. So then it narrows it back really quickly. It narrows right back in the end. A really interesting track, and I really love this ballad at the middle of the record. It really breaks the album into two, and to me that allowed me at least to catch my breath before the barrage of the second half of the record. Last but not least, Perfect Stranger. Great structure, a song that in my opinion is simple, but it works, and it works because it's simple. It has a really hooky, catchy chorus, a one-liner that just perfect. It stays in your brain. The first time you listen to this song, you're not going to forget it. You're going to be able to sing that chorus over and over again. A song that in my opinion in a live setting will work really well because it's fast, it has great melody, it's heavy, and it has, like I said, a super hooky and catchy chorus. Those are all the elements that you need for a song to really work with a live audience, and to me, this song has it. I like the intensity that the track has. I like the heaviness that it has. It really explodes into the chorus, and like I said, the chorus has volume, but it's simple in the approach of the vocals. Everything about the chorus is simple, and that simplicity really adds to the fact that the chorus becomes a lot hookier, a lot catchier, becoming an earworm of a track. But I love this song. It's not overly complicated. Even the solo is not overly complicated. It's not one of those. It's definitely not like Devour. It's not a solo that goes for minutes. It's not a long solo. It's not an intricate solo per se. It's shorter, more compact, still packed with energy, still packed with light, but shorter, and it matches the overall energy that the song has. Like I said, a simple approach, but catchy and hooky that drives the point, that drives the message home. Alright guys, this is it. This is Firewind with Firewind, once again out May 15th on AFM Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the singles. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care guys.